Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This one we have a 3v3 game that's going to be played here on Desert, and we've got myself here in the yellow as the Republic. My pocket is Risk in the purple, Rebels, and our last wing here up at the top is going to be Yoda in the teal Empire, and his wing, who he's facing off against, is going to be Cal in the green. His pocket is going to be RVA here in the red Rebels, and then their last pocket rounding things off will be Raphael in the Empire in the grey here. So as I said, it's desert. There's quite a lot of food on this map. There's 16 nerfs, there's about 3 Rontos, 2 Dewbacks, and then there's all these EOPs if people are feeling partial for them. But they can be a bit random in how they spawn around the map. So what people would tend, I think there's 4 Rontos actually, so many Rontos. We've got 4 here as well, yes. So there's a lot of food. Be quite good for T3ing, but people do have nurseries as well, so there might be some mounties in the early game here, just to slow things down. That's us probably finding our last nerfs there. So I want to get them into the nursery and start luring the Rontos over and get our food production just ramping up, since the hunted animals is the fastest food income. Whereas on the other side of things, we've got Raph here, just going straight for his carbon. We're getting ours just a little bit later, getting on the Ronto quicker. Some poor luring there from Risk. Quite a bit of distance between the Dewback and his command centre. Fortunately, they shouldn't need too many trips since he's got the nerfs giving him the food, so he won't feel the effects of it too badly as he would if it was just hunt. And he needs to keep garrisoning the workers to keep the production cycle going. They'll only really have the like 2 trips or something when they've all got to 35 food. They hold a lot of food. So there's not really too much crazy deviations of play. A lot of workers on carbon for a lot of these people. Particularly Cal, Yoda, Raphael as well. At least Raphael does have a troop centre to show from it. He's trying to go for the early mounties here. Which they kind of lose their effectiveness a bit when you're not trading this against people having to build farms. That's genuinely what makes these builds so strong. Because you see, we're not too slow into getting our own troop centre here. Because we've just got so much food to get up to T2. The Mountie does come out. Be on its way now, and the Scout keeping an eye on things. On the other side of things, we've got Cal, who's got his troop centre up now already. Yoda just getting his now. And pockets are definitely look like they're just going to be T3. And the first Mountie's going to reach us now. We've got a trooper recruit halfway built. We just haven't got a power core yet. We're just starting that now. But what we can do, since we're Republic, is just repair the worker and then bash it with it. And as long as the worker stays still, we can just keep repairing it. It's not really doing too much damage to us. Still luring our Rontos over while this is happening. Cal got his power core down now. Yoda too, so it's pretty even on that side of things. And the second Mountie arriving and then a third, that's where it's going to start getting a little bit dicey for us. But at least we can just keep repairing our workers, which is just super strong against this. And now we've got like a core of troopers to defend. We've also got ourselves a little bit housed during all this business. We built a turret just to be safe as well. We're trying to send the troopers out just to sort of counter-attack, dropping a second troop centre. Anything happening over here? Not too much sort of action would have to be on this part of the map. You've got a Scout being chased by Cal's Scout. In terms of the pockets, not really much drama for them. None of them getting mounted by the wings at all. RV just having a nice fun time here eating all these EOPs. Not touched his 2 Dewbacks yet. He probably doesn't need to with the amount of food that's on this map. Dropping his 2 buildings and heading off to T3 soon. These Mounties being annoying. Try to snipe this worker over here. We must get ourselves housed again. If you don't know, Republic get like an extra population of the houses. Troopers being a bit darker there. Try to shut down these Mounties. bit annoying because we want to lure our dewbacks. The other side of things, it looks like Yoda is sending out an attack here, and Cal is attacking him at the same time. No turrets in Cal's base for this instance, but there's the one here, sort of keeping the two troop centres safe for Yoda. But Cal's sneaking around and he's finding these workers who've really messed up with this dewback over here. Looks like a worker did die to it. Just sort of forgot about it when he was luring it. The other side of things, we did push in here with a couple of troopers, but we saw two turrets and we're just like, no, I'm going home. I'm just going to T3. Still a lot of food. Still a lot of food to get as well. Two dewbacks to eat. So Yoda coming up here, he's going to snipe this worker from Cal. Shouldn't really lose a trooper. Guy gets a little bit low, but he could kill these troopers. That's probably the last dewback grinding trooper killed off there. Yoda getting a lot of ramping damage here against Cal. Knocking him off this Ronto. Sort of spawn killing his troopers as well. He doesn't want to be taking the command center fire though, it's going to ruin his attack. And he's taking way too much damage there, and Cal holds that. The other side of things, Cal sneaking in here, maybe going to kill one or two workers. I think 3. Yoda unfortunately just sent all his troops this way as this is happening. He doesn't have a turret covering this side, so he's actually losing way more than he should. Cal doing a ton of damage now, and his extra troops that he had up here have joined in. He's just focusing down the workers, and it's like 7, 8, 9 workers maybe going down here. Let's have a quick look. Oh, we're being counter-attacked here. We're trying to T3. I'm just going to have a quick look at the old worker count. 32 for Cal, and 21 for Yoda. That's a huge difference now. So we're having a little bit of a bad time here as our pocket's just getting to T3. RV's rallied to air directly to us, but we've done our best because we're going to get counter-attacked by the troops that Raphael's built, and we've just tried to wall everything in here. That worker did get killed, so this is going to die. But by that time, Risk has shown up with his air. There's 2 more fighters from RV are joining now. But with the turret and the fighters, it's a bit of a sort of killing field here for these troopers. I just try to keep the workers alive, repairing them and stuff. So on the other side of things, I think Yoda has just ran right into Cal's base here, trying to do the same sort of thing, kill workers off. So I think he needs to kill about 10 to even things out. Done about 4. Not quite. It's not too dramatic a difference now in the workers though. We've got RV who's just pretty much just playing around this side here for Raphael. Looks like Risk may be looking to do a little bit of scouting or a counter-attack. We've got RV just patrolling in his base waiting. And Risk doesn't have all of his air together either. We on the other hand suffered a bit of casualties there. Definitely got the worst score off in this game just now. I don't think anything else is really happening on this side. These two are probably going to want to go T3. Oh, Cal is actually sending more troops out though. Risk has a lot more air than RV here, but there are the anti-air troopers and that's not going to be a good trade. He's losing way more than he should there. A lesson learned. He's sending the strike mech here over to RVA, who probably doesn't have any defense for that other than the fighters. So it should maybe cause a bit of disruption. And that attack from Cal, snaking around into Yoda's base. Just not quite there. Yoda doing the same thing, so these two are just not stopping. Mainly because the pockets are not really playing around them too much. So they're just getting to do their own thing. Some fighters would definitely ruin this for either side though. You would say that Cal probably needs them a bit more since there's a lot more troopers here for Yoda. And Yoda's almost got the same amount at home to defend, so it could spell disaster for him. The strike mech finally getting shut down. Killed a couple of workers, it looks like, on the ore here. Forced a mech destroyer. Yoda running in here and he's definitely killing a lot more workers now. It should be evening things up. His workers are safe for the moment, but Cal's sneaked round. We now got some strike mechs from Raph as he gets to T3 and starts harassing us, but we do have a mech destroyer out. Risk's fighters unfortunately getting caught by a lot of RVAs here. do still have the anti-air troopers, but we desperately need some turrets, I think, so we can feel safe. Some pinging here from Yoda. Pinging out the troops from Cal, but he seems to be running his workers into them, which is not great. I want to do that. The speeder here, try to kill off my mech destroyer. I want to repair that, don't want to lose that. Need that badly. And a lot of aggression coming out of Raph and RVA here. Try to catch us off guard and kill us off. These troopers just hiding from Cal here at the top. Does that Yoda feel comfortable to send his troopers out? These guys are just going to sneak in, do some damage, I think. I've got RV raiding our workers now. I just killed off all these workers on the ore. Killed one or two here on the farms. Risk was hunting for them with his fighters, but he's pulled them back now. Raph try to find some damage here with the strike mechs. Some more air, the speeder coming here, but we do get the turret up. I did say we really needed the turrets because it's pretty much what's happening to us. We're just getting all the aggression on us. Not really been any influence from RVA here on Cal's side at all. Briss just keeping all his air together. I think he's looking like he wants to go T4. RVA on the other hand doing a bit more booming than that. All these fighters over here. And this attack from Cal now. It's forcing you to get some air out to kill off these troopers. I think the damage was already really done though when all these workers died. But the strike mechs, there's nothing to deal with the strike mechs right now. Yoda is T3. I don't know why I needed to check that, he's got fighters. But, we just made sure that he's T3. He's definitely T3. And these strikes are going to kill all these workers here on the ore as well.
Missiles active, Commander.
So let's have a couple of command centres now. We're feeling a little bit safer, more content, feel like we're in the game. But we're definitely falling a lot behind. It will be a lot, I think they're like 40 workers down or something. 45, 76, so about 30 workers down at the moment. It's definitely going to feel bad for us if the aggression starts coming out here from Raphael. Mainly just the big impact of all that turtling, and then the workers being killed off by the fighters and stuff. It slowed us down a lot in getting all these command centres up. Looks like Yoda being a bit annoying here with some fighters trying to counter-attack. He's definitely lost a lot of workers though. If we go and look at Yoda now, where he stands, he's on 29 workers. Cal 41, so Cal's still firmly ahead there. Not as big as a difference though than we have here with Raph. And we've got Risk who's T4 now and his shields are about to pop on his fighters. He's obviously going to hit RVA first here, since he wants to cut him down a bit, slow his response to getting his own air. Because it's pretty much the only counter. Fight air with air. A few of these workers are going to get sniped. They're not listening to the old town centre. And RVA hiding his air up here in the corner. He doesn't want them to get found. Because if you get found, Risk can trade with them and kill them off very easily. Very little casualties. A few of these that just got ungarrisoned as well, getting sniped here. But Risk needs to be diligent not to lose his air. He takes a trade here. I think RV maybe killed one or two more. It's not the worst trade. Looks like this guy's stopping his Nova being mined right now for a little while. So he's very quick to send them back to work. And as this is going on, we are a lot of workers behind, we're getting pushed here. This airspeed are going to knock these guys away a little bit. Try to get Risk to not lose it as a deterrence, but we've built this fort in response to this army pushing on us. At the same time we've got Cal raiding Yoda, a bit more of a strike mech as well. He doesn't have a mech destroyer out to deal with it. We built this fort and just shut out the top of the base because we need to stop these units just like coming into our base and hitting our eco, or we'll never ever catch up in terms of economy. And the fort pretty much shuts him down from walking into this part, because this is the sweet spot for our eco. If he could just stand here, he sort of denies all our farms, denies our ore, denies a good part of our carbon as well. We'll never be able to have enough forces to deter him or push him back. So he's making these mech factories now, and RV bringing his air over now as well, which is definitely going to force a response here from Risk. Since me and Risk are on comms, and I'm going to tell him, Risk, please help me. This is hard enough as it is without air in my base. And the whole time we're thinking, wow, this is going to be difficult when we're T4 and we're Republic and there's just like a million HP Empire mech destroyers. So I pretty much call it Risk. We need to attack this now, deny the workers here, make sure this fort does not go up on this big kick-ass hill. Hill important. Strategic utility. And there's not a lot of anti-air here, and RV's pulled all his fighters back. He's going to take this trade though. Doing quite well for Risk here. He's got a lot more air than RV right now. He's not had the same economic impact that RVA has, since he got on top of his Nova for a little bit. And these units are just having to retreat back, and we're just going to camp here on the mech factories. Risk not paying attention to this group. Let's pull them back eventually though. Oh no, they sort of clicked on the mech factory, I think, accidentally. And he's going to lose his fighters there. But we've got the hill, we cancelled the fort, we're feeling okay. A lot of raiding from Cal here. There isn't any anti-air here. I'm surprised he's missed that a little bit there. A big push here from Yoda. Tone this down, this is going too much stuff going on. Keeping the hill here. There's a few of these mech destroyers maybe accidentally rallied into the units, they'll die. But this force is here from Yoda, causing a bit of damage. As Cal doesn't have a sort of response on the ground at the moment, he's just got the fighters shooting at them. Maybe should make some bombers at least bomb them, because there's no anti-air. He's denied a lot of his farms here. More fighters from RVA and Risk, just trying to keep things okay on this side. And a lot of Raph's units are just sort of stuck here in this little choke. This big cliff is really helping us out. Some speeders here as well. And a bit of a fight here between Risk and RVA. I think RVA's slightly coming out ahead there, especially when he turns around and kills those two. And I think he's got a lot more fighters here. Yeah, I think he's got double Risk's count at the moment. But Risk is getting these troop centres down, getting these troopers upgraded. Diversifying his tech path a little bit, where RVA is just sort of building the air here. He's got the speeders, he's even got more air at home as well. We've got Risk flying up to the top hand side of the map now as Raph pushes on us. And he's going to collide here with RVA's fighters. That's actually not a bad trade, because of the early shots. It's half that count, so it'll be a lot less dramatic. And maybe he can deal with this if he gets enough of the fighters together to go and help Yoda here. We've got Raph who's sort of sitting down, doesn't want to push into this hill at the moment. We've built this anti-air turret up in the top here, just to make things a little bit safer for us. We've rushed out the upgrade as well, because if we do that we free up our pocket's ability to influence the map in other places. That's why you should always defend well, do your best to be able to defend yourself. Because not only does it just, well, keep you safer in general, but it lets your teammate do things in other places where they're absolutely needed. So me and Risk here, pushing on this position. I'm going to abuse this choke a little bit. It's going to make this army a lot less effective. And we definitely want to get some shields down here as well. We want to hold this area. We've got this hill where we can fire into this choke. It's brilliant for us. And we need every little help we can get against the Empire. RV sitting on top of Yoda's eco while Risk gets out enough air, I think, to deal with it. But at the same time, is leaving us a little bit vulnerable here. But at least Risk's reinforcements are going to keep getting sniped by these fighters. Since RV's just committed fully to building fighters. He's got a lot more than Risk does at the moment. But since we've got the turrets, we're not too worried about that here in this position, with the turret and the shield. But it's the guys that are trying to get, taking this terrible route when they could walk through this this turret. And Risk taking that trade here with the fighters for RV now, but I think Yoda's just really far behind now at this point. He's down to 62 workers. Does that measure up against Cal? 92, so he's got about a 30 worker lead on him. It's about as consistent as it has been most of the game though. What we do have is Risk's fighters still staying up here and pushing Cal's forces away. RV just sort of sitting in the middle of the map right now. You can see he's got a lot of air. Tons of it. But he's almost keeping like a control group at home. Like he's worried about being just raided. I don't think it'd be too bad for him if he's raided. He's got these like 2 forts spaced out. So I think his plan now is maybe that he's got air on either side to influence things. But us having these repeater troopers really helps deal with the Empire, deter it from pushing in, because we ain't got much and we've been behind in eco for like most of the game as well. But Cal doesn't really have much of a force for this air to complement. Like this is his ground force and he's building his own fighters as well. So other than raiding workers, there's not really too much can be done in the north hand, or the north side part of the map. So you can come in, you can raid workers and stuff, but you can't really kill any buildings, hold any positions. And Risk doesn't really need his air down here, because we've got the turrets. So he's just going to use them to pretty much clean up this entire control group here from RBA. Give Yoda a lot of breathing room. And you can see this other group is just deciding, I must go up there now. And then there's tons and tons of air still being made as well. But we're getting a lot of time to get back into this. Get our eco fixed. Because we've never been able to boom on our own terms. See if I can just send all these workers up here. I think I was going to eat all these. Risk going to get a little forward here to influence things on the side since there's not really any ground forces. But that is getting caught by RVA. Killing off the workers there. Risk pulling his air back, he'll have to deal with that. We're all just waiting on the hill. Raph is doing his own thing down here. Looks like there's a bit of idols kicking about as he gets his upgrades for his mech destroyers. He's still just missing 1 for the HP. RVA sneaking behind and he's going to raid our eco now. And all these bloody workers that I just built. I see this happening and I'm dead inside as I try to go and build these turrets. I felt I needed to build one instantly, but he's just running straight to it. So I'll have to build those workers again. It's a punished life. Here's the Republic. And I guess on top I'm going to lose all those. So, oh well, we'll just build them again. Turret was so close as well. And sneaking around here, and he's definitely going to get away from Risk. I don't know what these fighters are actually doing. Confusing. Flying through some turrets and losing a couple of his fighters, but not too much. And as I said, because there's not any ground units here and everyone's eco is a bit slow in the top, not much happening here at the very moment. So these troopers could be a very welcome gift. They're going to go over here. RV is trying to grab up these resources in the centre of the map. And he's doing a pretty good job of it at the moment as well. But these troopers are going to have their say on the matter. And things just looking worse and worse for us as we get assault mechs added to the mix here. And the fighters are going to shut down these troopers. Maybe didn't need all of them though. Because as he's doing that, Raph's getting raided a bit now. And he's not really built advanced turrets himself, because, well, RV is just always in his base with a big sort of control group over there, keeping him safe. Until this moment, until the troopers, the great strategic point here. RV's just got pure air, he's got a control group of speeders as well. And it Risk's best interest to just run away at this point. It's like there's homing, just not advanced turrets. Mainly focused on his anti-air mobile upgrades. And this guy's still 225 health, he's not quite gotten that last upgrade yet. These are just assault mechs rather than advanced. So we're just throwing in these grenadiers now. It's the one thing that I felt I could afford and would be good. We're just going to have them there, try to complement the repeaters. Risk has unfortunately walked his repeaters into the army. We're going to try and sit in the shields here and just do as much damage as we can and stall as long as possible. Because we're kind of hoping at the top of the map wins, but at the moment it's not looking very good if we look at the difference in scores. And now we've got Cal raiding Yoda's workers as well. But Yoda's doing his best to persevere and rebuild as much as he can, which we greatly appreciate. We have a very hard time down here. Definitely we're just going to shoot this assault mech right now. There we go. Cal's still raiding things, but he's just not, like, he's just built all these air bases and his armies don't look any bigger than they were in T3 on the ground. These mech destroyers and grenadiers are doing okay holding things here. Particularly with a double shield, but when this shield goes up it's going to get a bit dicier. And this is really annoying for us. One of the reasons we were definitely not going to make mech destroyers for most of the game. These are just the ones we made in T3 to match this army. We upgraded them because there's a lot of them and it's extra health. We've got Risk having to bring his air up here and deal with Cals, I think. Well, he's pulling this back, I think because of the speeders that have just started intervening in things. We've got RV try to push up into these positions, they just got cannons in air though. A lot of these cannons getting on top of our infrastructure here, which is bad for us, but half the army's sort of sitting behind them, messing around. Losing the turret hurts though. Fortunately the speeders are up here. This could have been their time to shine. But yeah, they're off here, they're going to kill Yoda's army. Which is great and all, but like, there's not really anything on the ground, so it's just it's a sad time for him, but I don't think it's going to result in his death. We've got this air cruiser here, it's going to take a shot, and I bet you a million he's pinging that like crazy and getting RV to go and kill it. Scary air cruiser. Here he comes, instantly come and kill it. We built another turret a little bit further back, because we just felt we really needed them as a deterrence for speeders sitting on top of our army and the fighters. And I'm going to stop here and maybe shoot the troopers, but Risk's still making a lot of fighters himself just to try and keep Yoda alive from all the air that keeps raiding him. I'm sitting here getting really good, nice angles here because of the cliff. These Dark Troopers are devastating for us because we don't really have anything that does damage to them. So they tank a lot of shots, and they're not even like phase 2, they don't have much upgrades. But Raph not really getting anywhere yet. Built this turret. An interesting turret. And not really much happening just now, it's just everyone's having to think about what they want to do, I guess. Yoda's starting to build units again. But, I mean, Cal's really not built anything on the ground, he's just got like a few units here or there. Still flying around with air like they really needed in this game. A few of our units are just messing up there and running too far forward. We really started to build our eco back up again though. And we are starting to trade because we desperately need Nova. We're very poor. We've been spending a lot of our Nova on these Grenadiers that kind of die quite quickly. And at this point we are going to go Jedi. Risk sends us a little bit of Nova just to get things started here. Get some attacks up because we want to convert the assault mechs. We can't have assault mechs, you know, they're too strong. Our units are too weak for a unit so strong. We've got this cannon killing off this shield. If we can kill that, that's great for us. Because this shield just sort of covers the cliff. He's repairing it though. And some Mounties and some mechs here attacking Yoda. Troops are helping out a lot though. We've got very good upgrades, 75 health, plus 4 attack. And we've got these cannons that are just flanking from this angle here though. Risk is going to try and kill them, but there's so much air protecting them. Even Cal's air is down here as well. And we've got turrets from RVA. He just seems to be building air and static defense here to try and complement this army. But there's a lot of terrain separating them from one another. But they are getting a good position here with a big arc over it, and it's going to deny all this Nova from me. There's still about 1500 Nova there. And we lose one of our shields as well. So Risk is, at this point, there's not really much you could do with all this extra air that he's made, so he's just going to raid Cal now with it, who's got his air down here, which has just been sitting in the middle of the map for some reason, where it's definitely not needed. And we are trying to get all these traders out so we can transition our economy into just building like Jedi and troopers, Peter troopers. There are advanced turrets here for Risk though, so he's losing a lot of these fighters, but I don't think he really wants them or needs them. He just needs the one group, I think. He's probably taken up a lot of his population, since he's starting to trade now as well, and he's building troopers. And he wants some units here on the ground, I think, to complement Yoda, because Yoda's mostly just artillery. You can see these cannons are getting some really good positions, and I just do not have enough units to sit on here and here and deal with these, with all the air that's guaranteeing the resistance as well. Risk taking a bit of trade here, not with all of his fighters though. It's more just the ones that have got involved, but could maybe say the same for RVA's fighters there. They're both just finding one another, a little AI targeting, having a fight. And Yoda's starting to push on the top here, but there's not much for in terms of the units from Cal. Some mech destroyers, some strike mechs, not great into artillery. We're seeing this a little bit of carbon as well, since we're spending a lot trying to hold this position. We've still not gotten his upgrade for his mech destroyer, so it's a bit of a blunder here. They're all missing about like 60 HP. Just going to make the Grenadiers do a lot better. We're going to lose this turret though. Probably like the third or fourth turret we've lost. Feels bad, man. On the top of things, not really anything up here stopping this army pushing. Cal's got some mech destroyers, some air, there's no shields or anything. And Risk's running his units in here, just being really annoying, distracting things. We're trying our best to just set up a defense and keep this trade alive. Our fort's still here, we've got a turret behind it. And these cannons are doing a lot of damage. Risk just running into the back of Cal's base here. All these speeders from RVA are going to try and help Cal over here. To be honest, I feel he should just bring all of his air. There's a lot of AA mobiles here though. Just like a big heavy weapons production here from Yoda. Tons of artillery, tons of AA mobiles. And the speeders are sort of... well, there's a few casualties, definitely. And the shield going up is going to make it harder for them to trade here. Cal's forces as well are just not that strong, and they're fighting into a shield and just taking huge volleys from the artillery. The bottom side of things, the units are getting really far into our base now. We're losing a lot of stuff. Hemorrhaging resources. We're losing our nurseries. Maybe should have moved them back earlier. Just didn't think it would get this bad. But with all these cannons, turrets and shields getting put up and all the air guaranteeing it, it's just looking a bit hopeless. As we get the Jedi out and we start converting as much things as we can and just stalling as much as possible. These aim mobiles still trading. It looks like the artillery just walked away from them. And a lot of these speeders are going down. A turret even going up now as well. They're just all dying. Maybe want to run these back. There we go. Lucky timing, I guess. And the Jedi just holding the line here. I want to keep as much of my turrets alive as I can, but... air coming in here. I think it's trying to stop this cannon that I've kind of forgotten about. I think I wanted to kill the wall. And I wanted to try and raid the eco a little bit. This boy's griefing. Unfortunate. But the push is continuing here for Yoda, because Cal's just not really got anything. I mean, he could have mass mounties, that'd be great. Not much strike mechs. And the ones he has, he's thrown away right now. But he seems to be focused on heavy mech destroyers into artillery, which is not a good look. As we convert as much things as we can, stall as much as possible, risk trying to distract a little bit from the top. We really don't want them to get into this area and get things set up here, because then they're completely encroached on our trade. We just want to stall as long as possible and hope Yoda wins everything up in the top of the map now. Unfortunately, a lot of these bloody traders, they're trying to go here, I think. Which we need to tell Risk to eventually delete this. We need to get rid of this. In fact, that's not even the one. Why do we not have one down here? Or maybe we built them later. That's probably what it is. Because this isn't good. We don't want to be a trader running through this war zone. Converting more net destroyers. God damn, Raph, you really forgot this upgrade, didn't you? Still on 225 health. The artillery still going forward. Some strike mechs now and some assault mechs. Assault mechs are not bad. I think the Mounties is really just the most obvious answer out of this army. And our Jedi linking up here with Risk when we're just trying to just stall. Push these units back here. Getting a good few conversions. A lot of strike mechs now from Raph rather than like mech destroyers and assault mechs. Just pure strike mechs and bounty hunters. A big control group of Jedi now. Well, here's some Mounties now. Advanced, but they are all sort of boxed up. And look what he's done with his army on the patrol. They're just taking the maximum amount of damage they ever could from artillery. It's crazy. This actually wouldn't be a bad trade if all these units weren't doing this. I think you'd win it. Converting the stall. We're trying to get a repeater tech. As we just win the troopers now. They've just been very poor and lacking space, and a lot of our buildings always getting killed. So it's very slow for us to get things done. Had to prioritise the Jedi for a while. That's just building the new spaceports. So that push did slow Yoda down a bit. I genuinely think Cal would win that fight though if he didn't stack all his units up together. And Air looking to influence this side now from RVA. Risk still marching little groups of troopers over to this base here. Voice cracking a little bit there. Looks like a fort getting built here from Raph, and we're just flanking. There's all these cannons from RVA, but we just snuck some Jedi around and converted them all because they're really annoying. It feels bad while these traders just running through this war zone and dying now. Definitely need to get that spaceport deleted. Change the trade. If things were a little bit more bleak, we maybe had to move it here, but I kept it here in the meantime. And just any time they push up, just try and convert everything we can. And we've seen this little position here, so I thought I'd convert this. I did ping it out to Risk just so he knows that maybe you abuse it. Because we managed to steal 2 anti-air turrets, a shield generator, and a power core for it. Make things a little bit more awkward for RVA, particularly if he's rallying units through it. And I don't think Raph really reinforcing things is much the same as he was. Unit count looking a little bit low, and I think he's ran up all his strike mechs and his bounty hunters up here to try and find these Jedi. I do believe we're going to send them across the map, maybe. Yeah. I was going to send them to go and find the trade. I thought, we're looking okay just now. Let's do something to muck them up now, and I'll hold with what other Jedi I made here at home. I didn't think I needed them all here. So start running them through. Converting things as they go. He's just rage deleting things. Doesn't want to be paying attention to them. He's trying to micro this air up here. I'm just going to find all these workers of Yoda. And Cal try to hold a little bit longer here, but he's lost his shield. He's got some of his own Jedi though. Like, it's not too bad for him. If this, to be honest, if this air helped here, maybe we could push this. He's killing a lot of the workers though. Like he actually flew over these. He didn't kill the workers. Well, that would have been devastating. That's like 30 workers here eating this carbon. But he's gone for the trade. He's going to catch only Yoda's traders though. It's not going to help down here because we're effectively trading two ways, two sides. And these guys are trying to make it all the way over here, getting chased by these airspeeders that are actually detected, so they can chase them down. Keep an eye on them. But the front's looking kind of barren just now. You've got Risk rallying into this. You send some air to go and deal with RVs up here. The Risk rallying into the shields we converted, being a bit annoying, and things are sort of falling apart a little bit here on the south side. Cal's still fighting here, he's doing his best. It's just maybe not the best tech that he's using. He should definitely be using the troopers a bit more. And definitely fighting in shields as well. All these units just sort of standing here and trying to flank round. But they're not fighting in shields, which is great for us. And some more speeders here from RBA try to help out, but there's a lot of AA mobiles with, I imagine, homing as well, just killing a lot of these units. But it's going to keep Cal alive for a little bit longer here. So we start trying to hold. Pushing these troopers over here, clean this army up, put the pressure on. And we start rallying these mounties here. I actually do forget about these guys, but they do a pretty good job, just on their own. With no micro. And we did convert some of these spaceports, but I don't think we didn't sort of delete them all yet. I forgot about this one, I think. We didn't get them all though. There's so many. Some more air from RBA influencing things. We're coming over here to grab up some carbon, feeling poor. Risk sitting here with troopers just throwing them away. Nice if Risk had some turrets himself. Would help out. Sending some troopers here. It's not even a lot. It's just a little bit to help out here. Definitely help deal with the Mounties when Cal throws them at him. It doesn't look like he's made much of those. To be honest, his unit count's looking very low and there's a lot of idols. It looks like he's just sort of burned out here. We're still losing a lot of units, but we've still got Jedi and stuff. I don't really know why Risk had all these bounty hunters. These troopers just sniping a power core, being annoying. But it looks like Cal's falling apart here. There's really not much on the ground. He's still got some air, he's got some Jedi. But there's a decent array of units here for Yoda to deal with that. And it seems like another push here from Raph. And how did those Mounties get going? They broke through the wall, came in, killed all of these workers, and now they're killing all these as well. Great. Zero micro. Because we're too busy trying to convert all these units as we can. Distract them, stop them pushing. And Yoda and Risk are starting to carve through Cal's base now. All this air just hanging around here from RVA. But nothing here for Cal really. He's trying to get some more troop centres down, get some more units out. These fully upgraded mech destroyers now. And the troopers are just killing off his buildings. Another big push here from Raph and RVA. Cannons coming forward, try to kill off our anti-air turrets, and we just try to convert things as much as possible. Try to convert the cannons, but the air is like on top of it. It's making it very difficult for me to click. Turret's doing some good job here, killing off these fighters, helping out with risks. But I think Cal's had enough here. He's just losing everything. His push here, his last push with the mounties has failed. And he's just got nothing. He's not really getting much help here as well. He's watching all these troopers come in. He has said GG and they've tried to convince him to stay a little bit longer. But it doesn't look like there's much of a response here. There's no units on the ground. And they're just encroaching all the way up to the trade here. And unable to break here down in the south. To break me and get on this trade. The Jedi just stalling too well. And Cal resigns. Which unfortunately going to leave them not much of a choice but to resign. 2v3. But to be honest, I don't think there's much to be done on the top side with the unit paths that were chosen. Doesn't look like there's any carbon there either. It's all just been mined out. We're still throwing troopers out here. Trade is safe. It's just dangerously close to a battlefield, but it's safe, don't worry. It's fine. As we're running forward, just converting things and throwing troopers in. The voice getting a little bit hoarse today, all this speaking. Stay a little bit longer, see how it feels, but no. And that's it, so done what we can to hold off against the onslaught of the Empire and the Rebels. Shout out to Risk for his good pocket play. Much flying around with fighters, doing what you can to help out. Very happy with the way that that game went, despite all the pain in the early game for us. But we did well. Yoda did really well to rebuild, persevere, good tenacity. Cal maybe lacking a bit of tenacity there at the top, but I just don't think he's chosen the right units to deal with that army initially. It did look like it could have been his game to win. And he's very far ahead of Yoda most of the game as well. Maybe RVA could have more units on the ground rather than just fighters, because they did get a bit useless for a lot of that game with all the anti-air turrets, the static defense shutting them down. Whereas Risk's troopers felt quite impactful where they were used, sort of running down the middle, holding this area, making sure there wasn't a complete arc around our base and our units. So we'll get into the achievement screen, we'll have a look at that. Tons and tons of monies. Tons of research, tons of map exploration. That's the big stat. I work out I have 239 at one point, great. It's probably, I never felt like I had that many. It's probably were the ones where getting gunned down in the battlefield, all those traders. But yeah, it was a good game. So if you liked the video, please, if you feel like it, give a like to the video on the actual YouTube bit with a thumbs up. Leave a comment, all engagement's good, helps the channel grow. And subscribe to the channel if you've not. And if you look in the description, you will see a link to the GBG Discord, where you can come and join in the community, help organise games and stuff, because it's, well, you can see in the background, it's a little bit dead right now, but usually in the evenings, like the British evenings or early afternoons for America, there's a lot of people on trying to play games. And you'll find a description, you'll find a link to Vubley itself there. And that's it, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.